As I'm sure you know, Anakin Skywalker's transformation into Darth Vader was not a smooth one. He was burned, dismembered, and then shoved into a biomechanical suit. Thanks to Rogue One, we know his injuries meant he continued to need medical attention nearly 20 years after his duel with Obi-Wan. But what does all that mean for Darth Vader? Was he weaker or stronger in the suit? How did it affect his connection with and influence over the Force? I'll be covering the canon and Legends answers in this video. This is something that's been debated for a while, with fans pointing out that losing arms and legs would mean losing the midichlorians in those limbs as well, weakening an individual's abilities in the Force. For Anakin, that loss would be substantial, seeing as he lost both arms and legs. Personally, I've always felt that Force sensitivity was mental more than physical, based on Yoda's statement, "Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter," referring to Luke's flesh. I believe the canon book Lords of the Sith supports that theory. In the very first chapter, it states that Vader's injuries had broken his body, but perfected his spirit, strengthening his connection to the Force. In fact, it continues on and discusses multiple ways that not only his suit, but the injuries he sustained had actually made him stronger than he was as a Jedi. His deformities and his burned flesh were in constant agony. The pain fed his hate, and the hate fed his strength in the dark side. Like we saw in Rogue One, he spent time meditating outside of his suit, or in The Empire Strikes Back, outside of his helmet. The helmet itself had neural needles that stabbed into his skull and spine that would ease his pain, but again, to quote the book, the rage still burned within him. The armor itself also had some advantages that enhanced his strength in the Force. First, it took care of his bodily needs and allowed him to focus completely on his relationship with the Force. In addition, the suit terrified others, another emotion he could use to feed his strength. Canon examples of his immense power within the suit include stopping an AT-AT foot from stepping on him, disabling a shuttle's engines, or when he wanted to be less subtle, he could simply pull a freighter out of the sky. I think the new Star Wars canon intends to show Vader as more powerful after the suit than before it. Star Wars Legends is a little more ambiguous. Sources state that he did in fact lose a significant amount of strength thanks to the events on Mustafar. However, he was so strong in the Force to begin with that it didn't really matter. He was thought to have about 80% of the Emperor's strength. Had he not been injured, he would have been stronger than Sidious himself. However, even Palpatine thought that Vader's limitations were psychological and not physical. Darth Plagueis believed that cyberization would not affect one's abilities in the Force. So I think that when we compare canon to Legends, the same rules apply, but what changed is how Anakin decided to handle being put in the suit. Canon Vader did hate the suit at one point, but he overcame his past, embraced his future, and grew stronger in his power. Legends Anakin was haunted by his decisions. His confidence was shaken. In his own words, he felt like a painter gone blind or a composer gone deaf. He remembered where the power was, but could not find it within himself to reach it again. So when it comes to Legends, I do think Vader was weaker in the suit, but not because of his injuries. I think the deck was stacked against Vader a little more in Legends as well. From what we've seen in canon, Palpatine actually does want Vader to increase in strength. He's even proud of Vader for taking steps to eliminate him, because that means he's truly embracing the way of the Sith and the rule of two. I don't think we know the whole canon story yet, but so far we've seen Sidious be much more in line with the traditions of the Sith, desiring a worthy apprentice and successor. In Legends, we see Palpatine actively work against Vader. He did not respect the Sith of old or the rule of two. He wanted to be the culmination of the Sith, not just another step towards greatness. He never intended for his apprentice to overtake him in power. To summarize, I think the current Star Wars canon intends to show that Darth Vader is indeed stronger in his suit than he ever was as Anakin Skywalker. In Legends, I think most of the evidence points towards Vader's connection with the Force becoming weaker, but only because of his own inability to reconcile his actions. But I would love to hear what you think, so leave your thoughts in the comments. But that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out my Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.